What's up, celebrity news family? Welcome back, your number one source for all the hottest celebrity tea and entertainment drama. Today we're covering some very serious and concerning news that has the faith community and entertainment world deeply worried. Bishop Noel Jones is reportedly in the ICU. Before we get started, I want to ask everyone to keep Bishop Jones in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell because we're going to be following this developing story closely. Alright family, let's address this situation with the seriousness and respect it deserves, because when we're talking about someone's health and medical emergency, this goes beyond typical celebrity news. This is about a real person's life and well-being. Bishop Noel Jones, for those who might not be familiar, is not just a religious figure. He's a prominent pastor, author, television personality, and someone who has touched millions of lives through his ministry and public work. He's also the brother of Grammy-winning artist Grace Jones, connecting him to both the religious and entertainment worlds. The reports about Bishop Jones being in the ICU started circulating through social media and religious community networks, causing immediate concern among his congregation, fellow pastors, and fans who have followed his work over the years. When news like this breaks about such a beloved figure, it sends shockwaves through multiple communities. From what we're understanding, this appears to be a serious medical situation that required intensive care treatment. The ICU, or intensive care unit, is where hospitals treat patients who need constant monitoring and specialized medical care, so we're definitely talking about a situation that has medical professionals concerned. What's particularly concerning for his supporters is that Bishop Jones has been such an active and vibrant figure in recent years. He's been preaching, making public appearances, engaging with his congregation, and maintaining his various media commitments. For someone who has seemed so healthy and energetic to suddenly be in intensive care is shocking and deeply worrying. The religious community, in particular, has been mobilizing in prayer and support. When a prominent pastor faces a health crisis, it affects not just their immediate family and congregation, but the entire network of churches, ministries, and believers who have been influenced by their work. Social media has been flooded with prayer requests, messages of support, and people sharing memories of how Bishop Jones' ministry has impacted their lives. This really shows the far-reaching influence he's had beyond just his local congregation. To really understand why this news is affecting so many people so deeply, we need to talk about who Bishop Noel Jones is and the incredible impact he's had on both the religious community and popular culture over the decades. Bishop Jones is the pastor of the City of Refuge Church in Gardena, California, which has grown into one of the most influential churches in the Los Angeles area. But his influence extends far beyond just his local congregation. He's been a voice in the broader Christian community for years. What many people might not realize is that Bishop Jones comes from a family that's deeply connected to both faith and entertainment. His sister Grace Jones is an internationally renowned singer, model, and actress who became an icon in the music and fashion worlds. This connection between the sacred and secular has always made Bishop Jones a unique figure who could speak to different audiences. Throughout his ministry, Bishop Jones has been known for his powerful preaching style, his ability to connect with younger generations, and his willingness to address contemporary issues from a faith perspective. He's never been the type of pastor to stay safely within traditional church walls. He's engaged with modern culture and current events. Bishop Jones has also been involved in television and media for years, understanding the power of communication technology to spread his message and reach people who might never step foot in a traditional church. He's authored books, appeared on various programs, and built a media presence that has allowed him to influence people across the country and around the world. What's particularly significant about his ministry is how he's balanced being a serious religious leader with being someone who understands entertainment and popular culture. He's been able to speak to hip-hop generation churchgoers, address social justice issues, and maintain relevance in a rapidly changing world. His sermons and teachings have been shared widely on social media, introducing his message to people who might not have encountered it otherwise. This digital presence has created a community of supporters who feel personally connected to his ministry even if they've never attended his church in person. Now we need to talk about the family dynamic that makes this medical emergency even more significant. Bishop Noel Jones is the brother of internationally famous entertainer Grace Jones, and this health crisis affects not just the religious community but also the entertainment world. Grace Jones, for those who might need a refresher, is an absolute icon. We're talking about someone who revolutionized music, fashion, and performance art. She's a Grammy-winning artist, a Bond villain, a fashion legend, and someone who has influenced generations of artists and performers. The relationship between Bishop Noel Jones and Grace Jones has always been fascinating because it represents this incredible intersection of faith and entertainment, of sacred and secular influence. Here you have a prominent pastor and an avant-garde entertainer who are siblings, showing that families can contain multitudes. Over the years, there have been various reports about their relationship, sometimes supportive, sometimes complicated, which is honestly pretty normal for any family, especially when both siblings are public figures with very different career paths and public images. What's particularly poignant about this medical emergency is imagining how Grace Jones must be feeling right now. Regardless of any family dynamics or differences they might have had over the years, this is her brother fighting for his health in an ICU. That transcends any professional or personal disagreements. This is family. Grace Jones has always been known for being fiercely protective of her privacy and her family, so it's unlikely that we'll get detailed public statements about her brother's condition. But you can imagine that she's dealing with the same worry and concern that any sister would feel when their brother is facing a serious health crisis. The entertainment industry has also been expressing concern and support, recognizing that this affects someone who is connected to their community through Grace Jones, even though Bishop Jones himself operates primarily in religious circles. The response from Bishop Jones' congregation and the broader religious community has been absolutely incredible to witness, showing the deep love and respect that people have for him and his ministry. The City of Refuge Church, his home congregation, has been organizing prayer vigils, special services, and community support efforts. When a pastor faces a health crisis, it affects the entire church family. These are people who have received spiritual guidance, counseling, wedding ceremonies, funeral services, and life-changing ministry from Bishop Jones. What's particularly moving is seeing how different generations within his congregation are responding. You have older members who have followed his ministry for decades, middle-aged congregants who grew up under his spiritual leadership, and younger members who were drawn to his contemporary approach to faith and spirituality. The prayer requests and messages of support have been flooding social media, with people sharing specific ways that Bishop Jones' ministry impacted their lives. We're talking about people crediting him with helping them through addiction recovery, family crises, spiritual searching, and major life transitions. Fellow pastors and religious leaders from across the country have also been expressing their support and concern. Bishop Jones has been part of a network of influential pastors who work together, appear at each other's events, and collaborate on various ministry projects. The broader Los Angeles religious community has been particularly vocal in their support, recognizing Bishop Jones as someone who has been a positive influence in the city and has worked on various community outreach and social justice initiatives over the years. What's also significant is seeing how people who might not be regular churchgoers but have been touched by his ministry are responding. Bishop Jones has always had the ability to reach people who are on the margins of traditional religious communities, and many of those individuals are expressing their concern and sharing their prayers. Now family, I want to address something really important as we discuss Bishop Jones' health situation, the need to be respectful about medical privacy and avoid harmful speculation about his condition. When a public figure faces a health crisis, there's often a rush to get information, share updates, and sometimes spread rumors or unverified details about their medical situation. But we need to remember that medical information is deeply personal and private, and Bishop Jones and his family have every right to control what information is shared publicly. The fact that he's in the ICU tells us that this is a serious medical situation requiring intensive care, but beyond that, we should be careful about speculating about specific diagnoses, causes, or prognoses. Medical situations can be complex, and even well-meaning speculation can spread misinformation that causes additional stress for the family and congregation. What we can do is focus on sending positive energy, prayers, and support while respecting the family's privacy and waiting for official updates from authorized sources like the church leadership or family representatives. It's also important to be aware that social media can sometimes amplify unverified information or rumors during situations like this. We should all be responsible about what we share and make sure we're only spreading information that comes from reliable, official sources. The most helpful thing supporters can do right now is pray, send positive thoughts, and wait patiently for updates rather than pressuring for details or sharing unconfirmed information that might not be accurate. What this situation is really highlighting is the incredible power of faith communities to come together during times of crisis and provide support, comfort, and strength to each other. When a religious leader faces a health emergency, it activates something powerful within their community. People who might not normally interact are united in prayer and concern, congregants step up to support each other, and the spiritual bonds that have been built over years of shared worship and ministry become a source of collective strength. Bishop Jones has spent decades building these relationships, providing spiritual guidance during other people's crises, and creating a community that extends far beyond just Sunday morning services. Now that community is rallying around him and his family during their time of need. This kind of community response also demonstrates the lasting impact that effective spiritual leadership can have. The fact that so many people are genuinely concerned and actively praying for Bishop Jones shows that his ministry has created real, meaningful connections with people's lives. Faith communities often talk about being there for each other during difficult times, but situations like this really test and demonstrate whether those bonds are genuine. From what we're seeing with the response to Bishop Jones' health crisis, it's clear that his ministry has created authentic relationships and real spiritual community. The prayer vigils, support services, and community mobilization happening right now will likely become a source of strength not just for Bishop Jones and his family, but for the entire congregation as they navigate this challenging time together. As we continue to follow this developing story, I want to talk about the responsibility that media outlets and content creators have when covering someone's medical emergency and health crisis. When public figures face serious health issues, there's always a balance between public interest and personal privacy, between keeping people informed and being respectful of family wishes and medical confidentiality. In Bishop Jones' case, he's someone who has chosen to be a public figure through his ministry, television appearances, and community leadership. But that doesn't mean he and his family have given up their right to medical privacy or that every detail of his health situation should be public information. Responsible reporting means focusing on facts from official sources, avoiding speculation about medical details, and remembering that behind every news story are real people dealing with real fear, worry, and uncertainty. It also means being mindful of how our coverage might affect his family, congregation, and community. The goal should be to keep people informed while also being supportive and respectful during what is clearly a very difficult time for everyone who cares about Bishop Jones. Respect when discussing someone's health crisis, regardless of their public profile. Family, as we wrap up today's coverage of Bishop Noel Jones' health situation, I want to emphasize that this is a developing story that goes beyond typical entertainment news. This is about a beloved spiritual leader fighting for his health and a community coming together in support. The most important thing we can do right now is keep Bishop Jones, his family, his congregation, and his medical team in our thoughts and prayers. Whether you're a person of faith or not, positive energy and healing thoughts can make a difference. Let's also remember to be patient as we wait for official updates, respectful of the family's privacy, and supportive of each other as we hope and pray for Bishop Jones' recovery. If you're a member of his congregation or someone who has been touched by his ministry, know that you're not alone in your concern and that communities around the world are sending love and support. For those who might not be familiar with Bishop Jones' work, this might be a good time to learn more about his ministry and the positive impact he's had on so many lives over the years. I want to hear from you in the comments. If Bishop Jones' ministry has impacted your life, feel free to share your thoughts and prayers. Let's use this comments section as a space for positive support and encouragement. Don't forget to like this video to show your support, subscribe for updates on this developing story, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any important news about Bishop Jones' condition. We'll be monitoring this situation closely and will provide updates as they become available through official sources. Until then, let's keep Bishop Noel Jones in our hearts and prayers. Stay strong, stay supportive, and we'll see you in the next video.